forgot to click to the comments. But hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us live or watching the replay. We are so happy you're here. I have with me Ben, who is going to talk about a lot of things tonight, but not tarot. So if you're
Yes.
interested in his opinion about tarot, click on the link in the description and subscribe to his channel.
Oh, thank you, Ashley.
Which I advise anyway, just
Oh, bless you.
yeah. And we already have Jamie here, so thank you so much for coming.
Oh, hey, Jamie.
Do we have to sing the Wandering Mountain Bardic Path?
Go on with that. That's pretty 70s, Ashley. Is it 70s? Are we going
It was
70s?
Sister Act, right? Was it?
Oh, right. 90s then. We've just been talking about the 90s. Yeah.
I'm not old.
I love Sister Act there. That's another good 90s film.
Oh my God, that was so. I mean, we watched the first one and the second one so many times, and
Me
we sang
too.
all the songs, and
Yeah.
those were amazing. Like,
I
really.
always wished you could go to church and there'd be some
I
nuns
know.
like that.
I mean, if that would be a thing here, I think I would have
Yeah.
attended church, even though I'm not religious, but I would have been there like, oh,
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
good.
let's do this.
But
I
yeah.
know. Classic 80s. She was in a lot of good films, Whoopi Goldberg, though, wasn't she?
I mean, okay, Ghost is one of the but that wasn't my favorite, and she was recently in a TV show. I don't know. I think it was a Stephen King thing.
Yes, The Stand.
What?
The Stand.
Yes, and that's
Yes.
a really good one.
Yeah. Do you know, I
One of
haven't
the star
seen
guards
that.
were in that.
Yeah.
There's so many of them, honestly, that I never know.
Yeah. No, there's too many, isn't there? But no, I love
Yeah.
Stephen King. I love Stephen King stuff as well. So
Yeah, I mean, you released that video about horror movies and everything.
yes.
I watched it and I was like, well, we can talk about horror movies, but all I can say is that I'm not watching them because I hate being afraid. So I love
I
Stephen
know.
King, but my favorite one from him is The Dark Tower, the
Yes.
dark fantasy. That's just brilliant.
No, have you watched the film or is that the book you're on about?
I read the book. I
Yeah.
went to the first movie, and I mean the only movie because someone had the decency not to make more.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there fuming, and I'm
Yeah.
kidding you not. If it wasn't for my sister with me, I would have left. I was
Really?
so pissed off at the movie. It's just they turned that whole brilliant series into a really, really bad movie.
I heard about this because I haven't read the book, and I'd heard
Oh,
that
you
people
should.
who had read the book said the movie was terrible.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God. But the book apparently is the bee's knees.
It's one of the best one. I was so mad when I read it, and I was like, "Why didn't anybody told me that Stephen King can actually write like this? Like, where was I? I was already working on my book when I read it, and I kid you not, I think I stopped writing for at least a month because I was just so depressed. Like I'm never gonna be able to write anything like this. So I'm like, what's the point even trying? And I was just so depressed about my own because I was like, no point. So yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't know you'd wrote a book. I thought you wrote a book then as well. You're a
Yeah.
creative person, you are, aren't you?
I mean, that's my big thing, big dream. I mean, right now I'm trying to. I haven't put back the program on this laptop because I'm self-sabotaging like no tomorrow. But yeah, I need to check. I asked my sisters to read it through and check some grammar stuff, and they couldn't go through the whole thing, but they did some parts. So I'm going back and editing the
And
grammar
what's
stuff.
it about, or she? What is it? Is it like
It's
a?
sci-fi. Before I say that,
Oh,
let's just say hi to Lisa because
oh, hi,
thank you so much for
Lisa.
being here. It's about okay, I haven't written, the little blurb. I need to do that. But it's basically, without giving too much away, it's about someone who needs to, who doesn't connect to people that easily. I don't know where did I get that idea. But there's a ship, and you can only, operate it in a way that if you're in total connection, because the title is Lost in Connection.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, and it's basically about what is more important, feeling
Yeah.
bigger than yourself, as of
Yeah.
losing that human side and just becoming something more, or staying in the realm of human,
Mm,
and with the faults, and actually making genuine connections and stuff like that.
I love that, Osha. I think that's amazing. And I think, people who write books and like you've done cards, I know we're not talking about cards tonight, but you're a very creative person, aren't you?
Oh, thank you. I mean,
You are.
I hope, I mean, I I know it's mean to say that, but I always think that there are so many shitty books that been published that maybe mine can be published as well.
I don't believe it, Osha. I think you'd get to number one in my book. I'm sure you would.
I mean, if you want it, I can send it to you. You can read it.
I'd love to, absolutely. I do like a good book to read, so absolutely do
Okay.
that.
I mean, okay. Thank you.
Send it.
I will, try to edit the grammar stuff, and then I send you the
Oh,
book.
don't worry. 'Cause you should see my spelling. It's terrible.
I mean,
I wouldn't even notice if you
like
started again.
I think I overcomplicate the tenses and stuff like that always, because I don't know.
My
But
friend wrote a book, and it was good, but he'd thought too much about the words, and they just sounded so complicated. It's
mm,
overcomplicated it, which is it's easy to do, isn't it? When I think when you write a book, it's not easy to you just wanna
yeah,
come across
and
like
I
professional.
yeah, and I wrote it in Hungarian at first, and then I
Yeah,
translated it, and now that I saw what the mistakes were, and some of them are just that my mind wasn't able
yeah,
to do the proper English, which I would have
yes,
done if
yeah,
I wrote it in English, but I tried to translate, and
yeah,
the sentence structures and stuff is just different,
yeah,
and sometimes
yeah,
I can't see how the English would be, because I'm so filled with the Hungarian one, and then
yeah,
I checked what my sisters were correcting. I was like, oh, of course,
yeah,
it goes there and it's not there, so I'm like,
yeah.
so
Oh,
yeah.
no, that's brilliant. No, send that. I'd love to read that. That'd be great.
I mean, I would love to. I mean, I want to be famous and rich because I write books. That's my word domination plan, to be
No.
honest.
Oh, well, I always wanted to be an actor, and it's not happened yet,
I
but
wanted
you
to
never
ask
know.
you about that, but
Oh, go for it
let's
then.
say hi to a few people, because we have Debbie here. Thank you so much
Hey,
for being.
Debbie.
Regina is the most diligent person I ever known.
Oh,
She's always
Regina.
working, and
She's
like,
lovely.
honestly, I envy her work ethic. We have someone here who's just like
Hello,
has
Zane.
some pagan symbols and whatnot in there.
Hey, Zane.
But hi, Zane. Uh, okay, and someone said something like, "Oh, it was you. Thank you so much. I saw that someone ordered the deck because Making
Ah,
Guards tells me, congratulates me, and it's always so nice. Like, uh,
exciting.
you're gonna be like the third person, I think, who gets the deck. So
Wow.
I hope you will like it. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, the actor thing. Because I
Yes.
was, like I said, I mean, I told you before that I was finally catching up with your channel as well. Because I don't know if it happens to you as well, but when I was, computerless,
Yes.
I was collecting the videos on my watch
Yeah.
later list.
Yeah.
But YouTube sometimes deletes videos from there.
Yes.
And I
Oh,
was
shit,
like,
it's hard.
I haven't seen a video. And I was like, but I remember ending those videos. And I was like, it's not there. And then I went to your channel to watch the horror thing, because I was like, I want to watch that for sure. And I saw how many I missed. And
Oh,
the one that we're gonna have another live about that
yes.
experience, about something we're not talking about today.
Yeah.
It wasn't even in my subscription box, so I don't know YouTube why YouTube is hiding certain things, because it's
It
just.
does this though, doesn't it, YouTube? Because I was talking to someone the other day, and we were saying that sometimes you subscribe to someone's channel and then YouTube unsubscribes you so that you don't get notifications. That's happened to me before. And I'm like, oh, why am I not getting notifications for this person? And then I've gone on and I'm not subscribed, but I'm sure I've subscribed to them.
Yeah,
And
same.
it's like, it kind of cancels it sometimes. So it does funny stuff, doesn't it, YouTube?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not really the unsubscribing thing. I think that only happened once that I actually realized that was happening. But for more, the videos are not showing up in the subscription feed,
No.
or like I said, I'm saving them from my watch later, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
but I know there was something, like I watch a lot of videos, and then I'm like, but I know there was some other stuff, and then I look around and I'm like, I haven't seen that, I haven't
Yeah.
seen that, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, I blame the trolls that are out there.
Oh yeah, I
blame the
mean,
troll.
I blame someone. I just haven't figured out one. Hi, Beth. Thank you so much. And
Hey,
sorry about
Bear.
that video. I mean, I don't know which one you watched, the depressing one or the not depressing one.
Oh, I love all your videos. None of them are depressing or shit at
Oh yeah,
all. You always make valid points, though. I always say you
yeah, but
do.
the why January sucked was the depressing one because
Do you know
January
what?
sucked.
Do you know what, Orshi? Though I was thinking this the other day, and I thought, do you know what I like about you? You are who you are, and that's what I like. You're
Oh
authentic, and that's very important, I think, on YouTube to be authentic. And every video I watch, if you're upset about something, you say it. If you're happy about something, you say it, and you always know what you're going to get with you. And I love that about
no,
you.
thank
So
you. I
yeah,
mean,
good stuff.
I'm trying not to be different. I mean,
It's
maybe I'm
hard,
not
isn't
as
it?
social. I
Mm,
talk much more on video, which is so weird for me that I
yeah,
can't just talk. It's like,
yeah.
where is this narcissistic side of me came from? But I have these medals. Like we were talking
I know,
about our Horcruxes. Oh, look at that!
I know.
I found the angle that I can maybe show you the snakes inside.
Me and Orshi found out we got something in common tonight, folks. We've both got Horcruxes. Now, I don't know
Yeah,
what's in yours, Orshi, but in mine is Gerald and Richie's Black Hearts.
I think a part of them
Okay.
are in
Yeah.
in here as well.
Yes. Well, we split them. I think we've split them into like their souls into a
Yeah,
few things.
I
So,
can hear some fan, like when you
yeah,
do the fan, I can hear, and some I can
definitely.
feel some teachery glare from
Yeah.
Ricky. So I think so.
There's some fanning going on in there, definitely.
Hi, Justin Michael. So nice to see
Hey,
you here.
Justin. Oh,
Oh,
it's good
hi.
to
I
see
don't
you.
know your name behind the wheel. I
It's
suck at
Joe.
names.
I'm sure it's Joe. And I was
Oh,
thinking this the other day because I sometimes forget people's name, but I thought I've got to remember this person's name. I'm sure it's Joe. So do correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. I
yeah,
hope
yeah,
it's
yeah.
Joe.
Oh, but I do wanna.
Oh,
But
no, you don't ever.
like I don't want to be like all negative, even though a lot of shit happens these days. But I kind of,
No,
but I think it's important because I
I
want
think
to
as
be
well.
friends with people around here.
Yeah,
Like real collections, and not just
yeah,
be like, oh, look at my, not talking about tarot decks and stuff like that.
yeah. Well, no, I've struggled with this though, Archie, because you struggle with,
True.
you kind of want to share your collection, but then you don't want to come across like I don't want to come across that I'm trying to show off because I'm really not. It's hard, isn't it, to get that balance, isn't it?
I don't know. I've never because maybe it's because I never felt like anybody was, showing off.
No, I've never felt like
I mean,
that.
honestly, I just filmed my collection video, so there's gonna be an hour of me like
Yeah.
up soon.
But don't
But
you find
honestly,
that?
I just enjoy watching
Me
those
too.
videos because I love hearing about what people think
Yeah,
about the decks. It's not
I
about,
agree.
if it would be different if it would be like, this is $500. But it's not. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, I got this because the lovers were like that, and
yeah,
and I enjoy
yeah,
hearing about those things. So,
yeah, I
um,
agree. And I do like it when people talk about that, what brought
what
them to that deck.
makes their passion, and this is
Yeah,
our one of our biggest passions. So yeah, I mean, look at
absolutely.
that. We're not talking about tarot and
I know.
Wicca. We're talking about
We got
tarot.
straight there. Like
But
tarot.
I was just thinking about, if life would be all about fluffy unicorns, how scary that would be
Oh,
actually. Just think
yeah.
about fluffy unicorns everywhere. I'm not
You
sure I want that.
No, that wouldn't work.
I mean, someone would be happy about the unicorn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but so back to the horror movie. So if you guys
yes.
haven't seen it, and I forgot to link it, but you can look it up on collection shaming. Yeah, I honestly do and film all collections. I'm gonna be there and be like, "Ee." So
Yeah.
yeah. Uh,
I do love good
da, 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 da.
collections.
I have never watched any whole video tarot books are survival. Exactly.
No, yeah, it's true.
That was so surprising to me when someone said, there was this whole big conversation about, and I was like,
Well,
did that happen and I just missed it? Because I was
I
like,
know. Yeah, and I was the same actually because I saw that going. I was like, "Oh God, does that mean that people think I'm like showing off? Because I'm really not. I just like talking about it." And I'm like,
yeah. I mean, I
You
wasn't
feel
like that. I didn't care what people think because I just like started talking about
well,
my
that's
stuff.
good, you
So
say. Yeah, well, that's good to be like that because you know what I mean. At least it's good not to think what worry about what other people think sometimes. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm not saying, it doesn't matter what people think, because obviously
Yeah.
I'm human, and, I don't like to be ridiculed or hated, but I can be upset for a little while, and then I go like, well, then fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah. It's their problem. It's their problem though, isn't it, at the end of the day? If they've got a problem,
Yeah.
that's up to them. They don't have to watch your
Yeah,
videos, do
exactly.
they?
And that's why I was like, I don't really need to be part of that conversation, because I don't have a problem
No.
with showing or watching. So I was like, it was a real problem for people, but it's their thing to figure out. So
Yeah,
I sleep in a
absolutely.
bed of blue boxes, as in the Rider Waite me, or is that called?
I could see loads of tarot cards around you,
Is
Justin.
that called? Like blue boxes, condoms come in blue boxes, or
Justin, get back to us.
hi Donna, you just arrived at the right
I
time.
don't know.
So I'm still gonna ask you about those horror movies, and yeah,
Yeah.
and I watched the tarot, the song things, and I was just thinking about that. That did
Oh,
you
yes.
act, or like, because you
Do you
really
know,
like to do that?
I've always wanted to be an actor. Ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to be an actor, and I just was always daft. And when I was a kid, I used to act out scenes from films and stuff.
Oh,
And luckily, okay, I met Tanji, who's exactly the same, who
absolutely,
likes
that's
doing crazy stuff like I do and acting and doing that. And we both
tangible.
said, I said, do you fancy doing some like acting together and we can act out scenes? And originally, the song thing was to link a tarot card to a song, but now
Yeah.
we're just trying to find tarot cards to link to the acting scenes that we want to do.
I mean, I don't think you really need to, justify, and I think you can just
Oh,
do
yeah,
whatever scene you're picking. I don't think,
yeah.
like, you can branch
Well,
out easily, because people
yeah.
loved it. I mean, I checked the
Oh,
comments as well, because I was curious
thank
what
you.
people were saying. Obviously, I knew it was be positive, but I was like curious.
Yeah.
And um, for me, it was not okay. That sounds ridiculous, and I didn't even want to say that. My mouth is talking. But because you mentioned, what was the horror house name?
Oh, Hammer House of Horror.
Yeah, and I was like, I've
Yes.
never heard of those, even though
No.
it's not surprising. But the comments were like, "Oh, I watched this, I watched that," and I was like, there's so many people know about this, and it's just so
Yeah.
weird that it's a big thing, and
Well, I was shocked actually, to be honest, Orsha, because those films are very old now, and I thought,
yeah.
oh, no one's really going to know about these films, but I really do like them because my dad loved them as a kid, and I thought, and I started watching them because he introduced me to them years ago, and I thought, oh, no one's going to understand these films or really know what they're about. But I was really surprised that a lot of people have watched them because, like, I grew up with like Poltergeist, The
Oh God,
Exorcist
no.
films, and all of that.
Thanks, but I'd like to sleep.
Or she doesn't like horror films, guys. So we've had this conversation, haven't we? But I like getting scared, which is ridiculous. But
Yeah, they are
I
here.
hey Deanne. But I do love like I think they're a little bit more cheesy, the Hammer horror. I think you'd be okay with the Hammer horror films, or Shay. I
I
think
don't
you
believe
would.
it. I mean, the last movie that I watched was some of the, I don't even know which, Resident Evil,
Oh
where
yes,
there were
yes,
those dogs.
yeah. Zombies and stuff.
Yes, I spent
Yes.
the whole night sitting in my bed. All the lights were on, and I couldn't sleep.
Really?
I was so terrified that
Yeah.
those would come out somewhere. So I think my imagination is just way too active for something like that.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, yeah, my cousin was the same because I think I grew up on horror movies because and sounds awful, but when I was a kid, my mum used to take me to the video shop then,
I know we
and
had the VHS.
yeah,
Those were big
VHS.
things. You had to
I'm all
like
there.
borrow them. I loved
Yeah.
doing that, by the way.
Oh, I'm so glad someone else remembers that. And she used to take me to shop, and I was about 6, bearing in mind, and she said, "Go and pick a film then." And so I'd go straight to the horror section, and it would be Amityville Horror, The Exorcist, and
Oh my
she just
God.
used to not look at it. She'd get it and go back home, and I'd be sitting there watching Linda Blair twisting her head around and being sick everywhere. And it was like, but I think that's just what got me into it as a kid, and I loved supernatural stuff. I love anything
I mean, but if
supernatural.
you were not terrified, it's not a bad thing, because
Well,
I
I was
was.
terrified.
Oh, you were. Okay, then
But I didn't tell my mum
interesting
because
parenting choices then.
I I didn't tell my mum because I thought if I told her, she wouldn't let me have a horror film again. So I thought, keep it to myself. But yeah,
Oh, look
that's
at
what.
that. The Exorcist on Netflix. Yay!
Oh, yay, brilliant.
Awesome. You can watch it and not tell me about it because so the last one that I watched was that Resident Evil, and then after
Yeah,
that, my sister watched the 30 Ghosts or something. There was
13 Ghosts.
yes, and
Yes.
she just told me about the movie, and that was scary. That was
Yeah,
scary for me enough. I didn't watch the movie. I still couldn't sleep because I saw everything in my head, and it was just freaking scary. So I was like,
yeah.
no.
Well, for
I
me,
mean,
like, ho-
same. I'm not watching. But interestingly,
no.
I don't watch horror movies because I don't like the jump scares and that type of thing. But I love
Yeah,
thrillers.
yes. I
Give
do love
me
a
a
good
good
thriller.
serial killer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
And 90s had some good thrillers, also, if you remember.
Which
Do you
was sorry,
remember
I was just reading
in
that
the
Justin
90s they had
Michael's
some.
favorite place to visit is the Exorcist stairs in DC.
Oh, Justin, are you close to that? Uh,
You guys can go on a walk together.
Glide me, Justin. I'd love to hear about that. Um, but I get really scared, to be honest, Orshi, more so with books that are true stories
Oh yeah.
on like poltergeists that have happened to real people in real life. I will go to bed terrified after reading a true
Then
story.
why are you doing that?
I have no idea, but I
You're
think I like
you're
to get
ruining your
scared.
immune system as well. After the Exorcist slept in the nightlight for 2 years.
Yeah, Beth, I know. I mean, it disturbed a lot of people, that film did, didn't it? Back in the
Oh,
day.
it's horrible.
It is, yeah.
I know.
I
I
know.
was
Isn't it
I was
terrible?
a teenager when there was still a shop here where you could borrow VHS and DVDs then. And the guy, I had a crush on the guy, so I was there all the time.
Why not?
I mean,
No,
yeah, exactly.
I do love a good horror.
Have you seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil? I
No,
think I've seen
Regina.
that. That was that
Not
was a
seen that.
TV show about it, wasn't there?
Regina, I shall write that down, but I've not seen that.
Yeah, I don't know. I know
I've
I
not
tried to
heard
watch
that.
a TV show. Oh, sorry, I clicked it off.
No,
Tucker
it's
and
okay.
Dale.
Tucker and Dale. No, I've not seen that.
Take
Get
a
me
picture
back.
of the screen with your phone.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea,
I would
also.
do that because
It's easier, isn't it?
and yeah, I watch a lot of true crime, docuseries
Yeah,
about. I don't know why I do that because I just got depressed. Like how many people died in horrible ways, but I kind of want to know that those monsters were caught. So I need to
yeah.
I kind of
Oh, Regina says it's not a TV show. It's hilarious.
yeah. But, there was a TV show as well which I tried to watch,
Okay.
but it was like
Yeah.
because I really like the guy who was um,
Do you
the main
remember
character
Tales
in
from the
there.
Crypt? Do you
Oh,
remember
look at
Tales?
there's someone is here who has
Ah,
part of them in our locket.
Richie, we were just saying you're in our lockets. These are Horcruxes. We've got yours
Yeah,
and Gerald's Black Souls in here.
I'm just
So
saying that I have your teacher's glare inside.
yes, and we've got Gerald's fan going off in there as well.
Oh, well,
But
my
yeah,
mother left the theater. We missed something
is that The Exorcist?
about the movie.
Yeah, I think
I
it's The
mean,
Exorcist.
I wouldn't even be there. So,
It's horrible when you watch a film though and it scares you that much that you can't breathe. Have you ever had
oh God,
that?
no.
Oh,
Like,
I watched it wasn't so much, but it was a horror film. Have you ever watched like those films where they go into caves and then something happens, like disaster movie? I think it was
oh,
called
those are yeah.
Descent, and I couldn't breathe watching it because they got trapped in like the underground.
Claustrophobic, yeah.
And yeah, and I was sitting there, I was holding my breath that much because of
Yeah. No, yeah. I interestingly these days, I'm like I don't watch movies with a lot of emotions because I'm like I don't want to cry and I don't want to feel that
yeah,
much.
yeah,
I like a good action movie.
yes.
I like watching things blow up and stuff like that. So and crime, those two, and sci-fi, fantasy, but
Do you like Die Hard or Shape? You watch
of course
that?
I do. And
Yeah,
the first Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I don't know. I don't care who says what.
yeah, yes, yeah. It's true. I love that. And is it Lethal Weapon? I like that one as well with Mel Gibson.
Yeah, and that
I
was
love that.
the parody version. Have you watched?
Yes.
I love them.
Yeah.
Oh my god, those movies are staples in our household. We watched
Didn't that?
so many times.
Who was in that? Oh, the ones that were funny.
Oh my
Was it?
god, I can't remember. I have to check. Oh, I don't know the
ah,
English title because
was it called Loaded Weapon or something?
really, because in Hungarian the original one is Deadly Weapon, and
Yeah.
the wordplay is like it's so funny that it's you're gonna die from it. That's
Yeah.
the funny version. It's so yeah, just I don't know, but the Loaded Weapon makes sense. Is it the
Oh,
party, whatever, when they say shoot the whole thing down and then they ask for the address and it's like, no, it's
yes.
the
Yeah.
fort. Oh, sorry. And then
Yeah.
they go to the next one.
I love films like that, man. It's
Oh,
like, did you ever watch?
those are the funny ones.
Oh, they're great. I watched. Is it Scary Movie? That was like a funny take on like the old horror films. Um,
Emilio Estevez
you what?
was
Sorry.
in, Emilio Estevez was in the
Oh, that
loaded.
was it. Emilio Estevez. That was it.
Yeah,
And wasn't it?
Samuel L. Jackson.
That's it. Yeah, I love that movie. It's
I
so
just
funny.
I need to rewatch it. And the other one, which I mean, there are a few movies that we regularly rewatch, and one of them is only funny in Hungarian, and that's Pest, which is
Right.
John Leguizamo. I don't know how to say his name.
Oh, I know.
But that
Yeah,
movie is not as funny in English as they
yeah.
made it in Hungarian. They
Mm,
dubbed it, and
mm.
there's just so many word plays.
Yeah,
And because we watched it in Hungarian, because in the 90s and early 2000, the Hungarian dubbing was brilliant. They
yeah.
fucked it over, and it sucks these days, but
Mm.
it was ridiculously good. And we were like, why no one is all over this movie? This is one of the funniest shit. And then I
Yeah.
watched it in English, and I was like, so it's not as funny in English as it was in Hungarian. I see. And the other
Yes.
one is the Spaceballs.
Oh, I love that. John Candy, I think, is
Yes,
in that, isn't he? I
Spaceballs.
love that.
And the Robin Hood, the Man in Tights.
Yes. Oh God, yes, that's another good one. I love
I
those
mean,
films.
I love those movies. Those are
Yeah.
my favorite, absolute favorites one.
I
Because
love a
we
good
run
comedy.
the
Yeah.
Man in Tights.
You always get Gerald and Richie dancing to that.
Mhm.
They like their Megan, don't
Oh, they
they?
should be kept there. My soul is there. I know you're slithering.
I've got it safe, Richie. It's locked up.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, really funny. I mean, I tried to watch it, but I was like,
yeah.
not still. I don't like the gore and everything, and that's why I don't like
Mm.
Kill Bill either. Because for me, those extended bloody scenes were
Oh
just like,
yeah. Oh, I know. Have you ever seen Hostel? I mean, that's another one that I can't really watch. It's really
mm,
gruesome,
have to
and
Google.
oh, she don't watch it. It's horrible. It's just so.
I
It's
don't think
really. It, it's one of them films where you're like, you can't kind of watch it, and you're like, it's a
yeah,
bit like
no.
that. It's like no.
No, I mean for me that doesn't. I don't. I know a lot of people love Cuban, and I'm not saying it's that sucks. It's just for me those were more ridiculous than anything.
Yeah.
So
I also like talking of Emilio Estevez. He was in a lot
mhm.
of Brat Pack films, wasn't he, in the
Oh yeah,
80s? And like Breakfast Club and all that. Used to love
oh
that.
yeah. And those movies came here later
Oh, did
because
they?
with all
Yeah.
the Soviet Union and shit.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean we watched those comedy movies more when we were growing up.
I love that one with John Uncle Buck. Have you ever seen that?
Mm.
Um,
I don't know because I watched a lot of movies in Hungarian back then, so
yeah,
I don't really know the English titles.
yeah.
Uncle Book, that's it.
I think it's called Uncle Buck. And I used to like the ones with Bette Midler. I don't know if you know Bette Midler.
Of course I know.
God, what was it called? Big Business. She was in so many good 80s films, Bette Midler was. Ruthless People, all the
Hmm.
funny ones.
Yeah,
Um, but like Death Becomes There was a funny one. I love that film. That was one of my
I
favourites.
know. Same. And I watched that, your scene, and I was like, oh, I can see that.
We just didn't have the special effects, which was a shame. But
Yeah, I mean, but I could see that in my mind's eye, you know.
yeah, well, yeah.
You were
So
acting
hopefully
well,
people
you were
use
very
their
well.
imagine. Yeah, thank you. I mean, Tangi's set pieces are absolutely amazing. She
Yeah,
really
I
goes
mean,
to town.
I wanted to ask her, just I keep forgetting if, she acts in some local theater.
I asked her
Does
this,
she do
and I think
anything?
she has done some She did. I'm sure she said she'd done some acting. And I said I'm not surprised because her facial expressions are so good when she does it. It's just like wow.
Yeah, and you always feel like, she's performing in a good way, not like she's
Yeah,
acting, but she's like she has that
no,
theater presence, or I
she
don't know how
does,
to say that.
and she really gets into the character as well, which I really like. It's like
Hi,
oh,
spiritual.
spiritual
Thank you
rain,
so much for being here.
nice to see you.
Where's my voice?
Uncle Buck's a great film. Love that
Mm,
film.
yeah, you can talk because I need to drink.
Oh, that's fine. But no, I love like all the old films. Like I'm a huge 80s fan, actually. I've told you this,
What?
haven't I?
Sorry.
But I'm a huge 80s fan.
Oh, yeah.
Anything to do with the 80s, I'm there.
It's so
Um,
interesting.
it is it? Yeah. I just. What about you? Are you into 80s stuff? Or you're 90s, aren't you? More 90s.
I think I'm futuristic. I mean, today anything. I always loved watching anything and everything that was about the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a huge Star Trek fan,
Oh, I
and I
love
love
Star Trek.
Star Trek more than Star Wars. I love the original three of the Star Wars. I
Yeah.
absolutely hate the new ones.
Yeah.
It's for me, the first big new one was a cash grab because it was just the original three
Yeah.
made into a new movie, and everyone was like, "Oh, such a new movie!" And I was like, "Have you watched the original three? It's just a
Yeah.
bigger Death Star, a
Yeah.
new Han Solo, a new Darth Vader." Like,
Yeah. I know.
whatever. I know a lot of people love it. You can love it. I love Star Trek, and I can't wait for a new Star Trek movie because I
It's been a while, hasn't it?
periodically rewatch the movies as well.
Yeah. What's your favourite era of Star Trek? The Next Generation, or do you like the original? Which captains and
I
stuff
mean,
do you
I
like?
grew up watching Next Generation, but ever since Disco started, like Discovery is just like so new and
Love
so
it.
well
I
made.
love it. Yeah, I love that. And Picard's another good one that I
Yes,
enjoyed.
it is. The new one
And
is coming soon.
actually, have you seen? I have to ask. I saw the trailer for this and I couldn't believe it. But is it the Borg Queen is going to be back in? Can you believe it? I
I
was like so
know.
excited.
Yeah, and
I found another Star Trek fan.
I mean, let me show you something. Just to
Go for
brag.
it. Gonna say what she's gonna bring out. Oh gosh, you guys, you love films as well. I can see in the chat. Hitchcock's, yes, Spiritual Rain, Psycho, Strangers on the Train, Alien, yes, love
Because
that
I
film.
was in a Star Trek convention a few years ago.
Oh, fab. I bet that was amazing. Destination Star Trek. Jerry. I love that. I've
Mm.
never been to a convention. What
And
was it
there was
like?
like the whole cast of Disco, and William Shatner was there.
Oh, that
And there
must have
was,
been.
like it was a small convention, so there were not really able to separate people. So we saw a lot of people and stuff like that. So it was really cool, really cool. I
Oh,
went
I
with
bet.
a friend that I know because of Star Trek and snooker.
Yeah.
We bonded over snooker, and then we realized that we really like Star Trek as well. So
I love
it was
Star
such a
Trek.
cool. I mean, I never understood conventions and why people want to dress up and all that
Yeah.
before. And then I
Yeah.
went and I was like, I wish I could dress up because this is so cool. And I was like, oh, and I suddenly, I understood how it was really honestly just so cool, and seeing
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
dressed in full costumes and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I bet that was amazing because some people have really good costumes as well at those places. They really
Yes,
go to town, don't they?
with the whole masks and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
mean, if I mean, my all-time favorite show is Battlestar Galactica, the new one.
Yeah.
So if I could, I would go to a convention
Yeah.
where there are people from Battlestar Galactica,
Yeah.
but I don't know where, because
Yeah.
that's an old show now. So
Yeah.
hi, Micah, thank you so much. I hope you're feeling better because Micah
Oh, hi,
injured
Mike.
her hip yesterday, or yeah,
Oh,
was it
no.
yesterday? So let's send healing vibes because
Oh,
yeah. And
Awesome.
Angie's here. I saw Angie. Someone.
Oh,
Someone.
hi, Ange.
Oh, hi, hi, hi. Sorry, we were too, engrossed in the conversation. So
We are. It's
yeah, and I
exciting
was,
though, actually, because I'm learning so much about you, and it's brilliant.
yeah,
It's
but I want
fab.
to learn about you as well. Like
We've got
that's
loads in
that's
common.
why I want to do these streams because I want to know people and not just their collection or their tarot stuff because
Yeah,
it's more fun if you can
yeah,
actually be more 3D people and
yeah. I like having conversations with people about stuff as well because sometimes we're starting a channel, it can be lonely sometimes because it's so much better when you can interact with people. And that was my word of the year this year, was collab. And I thought I
oh,
really want to talk to other people about stuff and do different things with them and get out there more because sometimes I did a lot of videos on my own last year and I went on a few lives, but I thought no, this year I want to get talking to people and have conversations and stuff, and
cool.
you were on my list.
Yes, I saw it and
So,
I was so
yeah.
happy because I was like, oh, am I on it? And I was like, oh, my name is there.
Yes.
Because, I don't expect people to, want to talk to me and stuff like that. I
Oh
want to talk
no.
to everybody, but
Yeah. No, you were right on
I
there.
tried to send the doctor that. Oh,
Oh, oh, it's horrible when
it
you gotta go
sucks
to
that you have
work.
to work. Cloverfield, yeah.
Oh yes, I do.
That was
I
a
fell.
weird movie.
Yeah, I couldn't get into that one either, to be honest,
Yeah, I mean,
Joe.
I watched the new one or second one a few years ago. There was I think that was it even that movie? Cloverfield. That was a number, I
Mm.
think, in the title.
They've done a couple now, haven't they? I think of those ones. I
Yeah,
think
okay. We're not
it's like
talking
the
about tarot, so I'm not making a note to. I need to check that anniversary edition
a new.
because I didn't know. But
I
we're not
love
talking
that.
about tarot.
Yes.
Just making notes.
Yeah.
So yeah. Supernatural convention. Oh my god.
Oh my God! I bet that was amazing, Debbie.
But I don't think I could handle seeing Jensen Ackles in life. I think I know
Yeah,
he's married, he has kids, but I would just be like,
you'd just be like, I
exactly. I
know.
mean, that man
Yeah, I
is
know what you mean.
I mean,
Definitely.
Edge never apologized for being exciting for stuff like that.
Oh no, and we love your
It's
excitement.
it's not a thing.
But do you know what? Will you believe this? I've only ever watched the first season of Supernatural, and I loved it. I know it's disgusting. She's going to chuck me off the live, folks. But
I mean, eject.
yeah,
I
but
can understand the first one is more horror, more
yeah,
scary than the rest, which
and I loved
for me
it.
was a
And
good
then
thing.
yeah, it was brilliant because I loved the supernatural stuff. And I think I got
Yeah,
to the second season where they were using a Ouija board, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." But then after that, I think I just lost track, and then I realised they've made like, is it 20 odd seasons or something now?
it
Is that
ended.
they've
I
done
don't
so
even know
much
how
now,
many
haven't
seasons, but I really loved the writing. They
they?
were the storyline that they created for the boys and just everything was I think it's one of it's still one of my favorite ones and I loved the ending. There was
Yeah,
a lot of people bitching about, but I just kind of feel like these days everybody bitches about everything and they can't
yeah,
just
they
be
do.
happy that there was an ending for a TV
Yeah,
show that was on TV for so long because there was a
yes,
lot of shit that was
yeah.
canceled mid-season and you're like, it never ends. So,
That's
and I
true. I hate
really
it
like
when
it.
that. Yeah, when you get to an end of a series and they don't end it properly, and it's just like, oh, what happened?
Exactly. I still have some TV shows that I really like. There was one that was called Dead Like Me,
Yes, I think
and
I've
it was
heard of
just such a
that.
smart show. And then
Yeah,
people were not watching it because people are idiots, and then
yeah,
they just canceled it, and you never know how it ends, and it's just
I know.
yeah,
I
stop.
watched one, I
Yeah.
think it was called Invasion, and they only did one season, but it
Oh,
was so good, and they didn't carry it on, and I was like, I wanted to know what
there was a
happened.
lot of TV shows that I really liked, and yeah, they were canceled, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I know. It's like,
Yeah,
damn
because
it.
you get invested, you watch it, you really like the story, the characters, and then you're excited, and then it's like,
Yeah,
when is the second season? And you're like, it's never.
yeah. Well,
Sopranos, yes.
Oh yes.
I can't
Yes.
remember what was the controversy of the song. I can't remember. It was I love the TV show, but I can't
Well,
remember what was the ending. Why was it controversial?
I can't remember. It was a
That
good.
was that was a long time ago.
How far are we going? Talking of going back to, I mean, everybody keeps going on about the Golden Girls.
I haven't.
So
It wasn't a thing here, so I
no,
never
well,
watched
no,
it.
I'm not. I don't know if it was in Britain. I suppose it might have been in Britain actually, but I keep thinking I must watch that because that's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't on TV here. Just like
No.
Mash. Is that the
Yes,
big?
I
It
remember
was on
that.
TV, but late early 2000 and something like that, and it was
Mm,
shown on
yeah,
some cable stuff. So I only saw a few episodes, but I never really got into it because I didn't know what was it all about.
yeah,
But I keep hearing from people that this is a brilliant show and blah blah blah.
yeah,
Blah. I was like, it was just aired in such a weird time that
yeah. I know what you mean. Also, it's there's so much to catch up on. Though. There's
no,
that
could
many
be
good
they were on
episodes.
the dinner table and suddenly the film stopped.
Oh, oh,
Oh,
that would be annoying, wouldn't it?
I cannot remember.
That's
I can't remember.
interesting.
I must have seen it. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
it was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Some good
I did
ones.
like. I mean, Breaking Bad was a big thing, and I really wanted to get
Yes.
into it, but I only watched I don't know. I think 4 episodes, and I was like, nah, it's not. I can't.
There's a new series on TV at the moment. I think it's on Netflix called Archive 81. Have you heard of that?
I watched 4 episodes, and I'm not. It's not
What
for me.
I was gonna, yeah,
It's just weird.
it's a
For
bit of a
me, I know a
Marmite.
lot of people love it, but for me, it's just weird and not in an interesting and who are gonna watch it way, why
Yeah, I know
for
what you
me. But
mean.
I know a lot of people love it, and there was a tarot reading in it, and I was like, if there's gonna be a death card, and there was the death card. I was like,
What did you think of them? I know we're not talking about tarot, but I have to say, what did you think of those tarot cards? Because I was like, they need to make that. I love the images on those tarot cards,
yeah,
but I
that looks
don't.
like a nice deck.
It does, but you can't get it all shit because I've looked. I thought, oh, that looks like a really nice deck, and you can't get it anywhere. So
Yeah,
I bet it
I
was
mean,
made for the show.
there was a few tarot cards in the Now You See Me movie, the second.
Yes,
Those
yes,
look so nice, and it's not
yeah.
an actual deck. And I
I
was like,
know.
why? You
I
could
know.
have showed us that deck. And they didn't make it into a deck.
It's crazy when they don't do that, isn't it? Because there's so many people
Yeah.
out there that would love it.
The Serpent was on my watch list because there's somebody in it. Maybe is that the Rupert Grint one?
I've not seen the Serpent.
I know
Oh, it's
that
on
I wanted to,
BBC.
but then I didn't have time to watch it. And by the way, I watch a lot of English panel shows. Like I love the Big Fat Quiz of the Year.
Oh, really?
And I watched the 10 out of 8 cats does
Yes,
countdown. That's something,
yeah,
with the
yeah,
celebrity guests.
yes.
I love everyone. So I
Do
watch a lot of
you?
shit like that.
Oh no, that's cool. I love that. I didn't know you watched that kind of. No,
Yeah,
I
no,
mean, I do like those shows. I used to love Blankety Blank and things like that. I don't know if you remember that.
yeah. I mean, I heard about it, but
And Dame Edna, I used to think she was so funny.
yeah.
Do you remember Dame Edna? I
No,
don't
I don't think so.
know, but
I
no,
mean, I just watched. I started watching these. I think like 5 to 8 years, something like that. I watched all the. I mean, there wasn't a big quiz of everything yet because they pushed back the filming to March, and I was like, but I was waiting for it. Even though no Fielding, he wasn't on it for a
Yeah.
while, and the Mighty Bush is
Yes.
one of my all-time favorite TV shows ever.
Yeah. Wow.
I
Yeah.
love. I have. I don't. It's too far away, but I have the DVD box set. I have the
Yeah.
book. I have everything because I just love
Wow.
those.
Yeah. No,
I
that's
love.
great.
I love English humor. It's mine.
Yeah.
So.
Well, some people don't get it, do they? Some people find it a bit dry, or some people find it too. I suppose it depends, doesn't it? Really.
I mean,
I
there's a
always.
a lot of puns, and I appreciate a
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Definitely. It's weird 'cause I always grew up on American movies, and I feel like I understand their humor better than I do the British one sometimes.
I
So I
mean, I
suppose
watch
it.
both.
Yeah. There's a lot of great TV from these
Yeah, I
countries,
mean,
isn't there?
the amount of shit that I watch, I mean, just as in, and
But it's good shit, right?
yeah, I mean, right now, I'm finally watching Schitt's Creek because my sister
Yes.
was like, "You need to
That,
watch that," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm on the second season."
wow, yeah,
So
it's good that
yeah,
is.
yeah,
My brother's watching that. He says it's really funny.
yeah. Uh, okay, I was totally not paying attention to the chat. So sorry,
I know.
guys.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm chatting all she's head off tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I wish you could all be here. That would be so much more
Yeah,
fun.
that'd be
But I saw
fab.
that Debbie asked for a subscription in BritBox. BritBox has a few really good
Yeah.
TV shows, but I couldn't download them because I do that. But no one, no police, no police.
She didn't say that.
Yeah. One of the news has James Saber as
Oh, James
attacker.
Bond.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Did you see? Have you watched the latest one with Daniel Craig?
Yes, I have.
Did you like it?
What's I yeah, I did actually, Orsha.
Did
I
you
thought it
like
was
it?
did
Did
you like
you?
it or
Let's be honest. It was a bit boring. Come on.
it I didn't understand the ending because it felt I won't say the ending. God, I was nearly gonna say the ending then. Um, but I didn't mind it. I mean, the one of his
I
that I
like the
didn't
ending. The ending made sense to me.
well,
But their relationship didn't make sense because it wasn't shown, and there was just
no,
suddenly like someone that I'm supposed to care about because he cares about, but there was
yeah,
no real.
I didn't get the
He
connection.
was too young for me, to be honest. There was too much of an age difference as well.
Yes, yes, I
That was
agree with that.
creepy, and
But
there was a lot of driving and
yeah,
not enough spying. So
mm, yeah, it was a funny one, wasn't it, that one? But I
I
loved
mean, he
Roger
was
Moore.
I loved him as James Bond, so I was like a bit disappointed because I was really waiting for this movie. So
Yeah, I know it's horrible when it's not doesn't meet your expectations. But then I think to myself, well, because was it made in COVID times? Because it felt like there wasn't at times there wasn't that much many people around. I don't know. I don't
yeah,
know whether that affected it.
yeah, and just because Ange asked, anybody can share any links. I'm not, like, you can't share other people's stuff. Share anything you want. Other people's channels, other people's shops. I don't mind. I'm not a bitchy. I'm all about the sharing is caring. I
Yeah,
pirated music when I was,
yeah,
teenager. So
I love it.
yeah, so
But
yeah,
yeah, who's your favourite Bond? Or have you seen the other Bonds?
Daniel Craig, to be honest.
Yeah, is it? Yeah.
And I
See,
really didn't like. I remember that when I was, there was rumors already that he's gonna be the next one, and I was like, Daniel Craig. I couldn't see that
yeah,
because when I looked at him and what how he played previous parts, I was like, but I
mm,
think he was brilliant.
yeah, he was a good Bond, definitely. But I loved Roger Moore the best. He was my
Mhm.
favourite because I
I
just thought he
mean,
was funny.
the first one I think we watched was Pierce Brosnan.
Yes,
Those
that
movies
was
were the first one that we saw. So Roger Moore was later. That oh, and
yeah.
Sean Connery.
Oh, he's good. Yeah, I mean he was a good Bond as well.
Even though Sean Connery is though that type of man who looks better as he ages, which is
Yeah.
just mind blowing to me. That
Yes.
how can he look better when he's like 60, when he was 30? But he does.
I know. I agree with that actually because he looked really good in Indiana Jones, and then you see him in Bond, you go, "Oh, actually, you do look a little bit better in Indiana Jones."
Yeah, exactly. And I just yeah, oh, Shaun of the Dead is so funny. I love that one.
Oh, that's another good one. Simon
That's
Pegg,
the
is it?
zombie one. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I love that.
Oh, okay. Mine was Sean Connery because he didn't. I don't know what, but uh,
Yeah.
it's just
Daniel
funny
Craig.
how I tried. I watched a few episodes of what we do in the shadows, but I don't know. With that one, we're kind of not finding the same footing on, and it's weird because I really wanted to watch it because the guy was in Mighty Boosh as well.
Yeah.
He was the zookeeper,
Oh, okay.
so I
I
was
don't think.
yeah I wanted to watch it because of him, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, no. Oh, a lot of people
I
seem to
watched
like Sean Connery.
yeah the Kingsman movies. I like
Oh,
those as well. I like
good
them.
choice. I love them. I like the one with Elton John. And he jumps over the piano or something, or kicks somebody
Yeah,
or
yeah.
that was
Oh,
funny. He's great.
okay. Oh, hi, Crystal Louise. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi,
Sorry if I missed
Kristen.
someone, like I'm not doing that on purpose. It's just
It's me, I'm distracting.
there's just so many lovely people here and we're just talking
There
about,
is.
stuff. So
It's a lovely crowd
yeah.
of people.
I think yeah.
And it's hard to
And
keep. Do you know, it's another thing though, Walsh, isn't it? It's because the first time I did lives, I was so scared because you're multitasking, aren't you, doing lives? And
yeah.
you're trying to involve the chat, you're trying to make sure that your guests are okay, and then you're trying to like make, and it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
and that's why I concentrate more on what was that sentence? I mix things up on the person that I'm talking to,
yeah,
and I'm trying to pay attention to the chat, but I feel like if I'm always just there, then I can't listen to what you're saying, and then
yeah.
I can't
No,
multitask. That's a myth that
you're
people
doing
can
a
do that.
great job. You're doing a fab job. I mean, God, I was thinking about, I haven't done a live on my own yet, and I'm thinking, oh my God,
I mean,
I don't.
you were in the studio enough to know how it works because for me it
Yeah,
was a big help that I was a guest on Simon's Live. So I really hate when I don't know what to expect from any situation. When I go somewhere, I check Google Maps, I check how
yeah,
the streets are and everything, so I know
yeah,
where to go. And
yeah,
for me, it really helped.
yeah,
That I was in the studio. I saw the layout. I know
yeah,
I was able to see what to click, where to. I mean,
yeah.
obviously, when you're a guest, you can't click on everything, but
Yeah.
it's
How do you?
not as complicated as people think at first because it
No.
might look like there's a lot of things to pay attention to, but you have the screen in front of you, the
Yeah,
chat on the right side, and
yeah.
it's not as bad.
You get used to it, don't you? The more you use it, I suppose.
Yeah.
And it's quite intuitive when you know how it works, isn't it? You know, I like that you can click on comments and they pop up, and you
Have
know.
you seen the Philadelphia story? I need to Google what is that.
Oh no, Beth, I don't think I
Philadelphia
have the Philadelphia story. Although it
story.
rings a bell. Is that an old one?
Yeah, it's a 1940. I don't think. Oh, it's directed by George Cukor, so a Hungarian one.
Oh, oh. No, I don't think I
Mm.
have then.
It's so
No.
funny that a Hungarian one, founded Hollywood. I always find that
Yeah.
fascinating. We are everywhere.
Oh
Oh,
no
Cary
way.
Grant and Catherine Hepburn. Oh, okay.
Oh, I've heard of Philadelphia Story.
I must have. And I was just thinking about it because, you were talking about all the horror movies that I just Googled a few because I really like old Hungarian movies as well from the 40s and stuff like that.
Yes.
Because for some reason, I'm not saying, they were better than the new ones because they were different, but they could make such good movies back then.
Yeah.
There was a period of time when Hungarian movies are just so
Yeah.
brilliant. These days, I think they tried to be too similar to American movies, and
It's like
I don't
that.
know.
It's like they have their Renaissance period, isn't it? Because it was like I was talking about this with someone the other day. The Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah.
So UK never wins anything these days.
We can't win anything because politically, we're not nowhere. So Hungary,
Yeah.
even if we have a good song, we would never win because it's all about
Yeah.
politics. That's
Well,
why
we're
I'm
the
not
same.
watching it.
Yeah.
It just annoys me. So,
I know. UK haven't won anything for years. It's
oh, look at that. I know a woman who did yoga with Martha Stewart. Martha kicked her and didn't even apologize for it.
oh
Well, she went to prison. So, what do you expect
yeah.
from Martha
That
Stewart?
wow.
Yeah.
Scary.
Ooh, look at that. That met Woody Harrelson. Oh,
Oh wow.
I mean, I can understand. I love the guy too. So,
Yeah, that's something you'd have to do, isn't it? You just have to run up to them and like, I love you.
yeah, and then I'm bye.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want to do that because I would want to be respectful, but I would be for sure like,
Yeah.
which is like equally annoying for them, I'm assuming,
But sometimes your emotions overtaking. You're like, oh my god,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know.
I mean, for them it's just a Tuesday afternoon, but for me, like,
Yeah,
but that's a
yeah.
superstar.
Like, oh my god. No,
Exactly.
I know.
Oh, is there anyone who you would like to meet? Like a famous person that you would actually want to meet?
That's a good question.
Because I don't
Um,
want to meet anybody because I'm sure that I would be disappointed.
I know that's how I feel. Also, I'm like, I'd be like, oh my god, hi, I love you, and they'd be like, well, who the hell are you?
I'm
And it's like,
trying to eat my salad.
yeah,
Bye.
get out of my face. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, see, I'd love to meet people who are dead. That's the trouble. Or like like Bette Davis. I thought she was fab. I thought I'd love to have met her.
Well, is she
Um,
dead though? I mean, is she?
it's a
We
good
never
question,
know.
Oshie. You know, I mean,
No.
if she's not dead, I think she'd be pretty old by now because she's over 100. So
Exactly.
she'd be crawling on the floor. Um, but I don't know. Yeah, it's like loads of people say, I'd love to meet. Is Elvis dead? I mean, there's all these conspiracy theories, isn't there? I mean, it's the realm of conspiracy, isn't it? But I don't know really. How about you? Would you ever? Is there someone you'd really like to meet?
Mm, I don't think I would want to because there's a few who I have a crush on and then I wouldn't want to because I would be like
Yeah.
or I'm like I don't care. I don't care.
And once if they
Either
disappoint you in
option is
real life,
horrible.
yeah, they might disappoint you in real life as well. It's like you've got this image of them in your head, and then you meet them, and you're like, actually, they're not as well I
And
thought.
it's not even because they necessarily an asshole, but what if they have a bad day and they
Yeah,
just want to be left alone and I
yeah,
just add to that. So I wouldn't want to do that. I don't want to be someone who ruined their salad because she's
yeah,
excited. So I rather just meet them in an official setting, if anything
yeah,
like a convention or something like that.
yeah. I know what you mean.
But I would like, okay, I like what you do.
Yeah. Well, it's
I
like
like
you
your
think,
job.
yeah.
So
It's like you think to yourself though, how would I feel if people did that to me? I suppose it's putting yourself in those shoes, isn't it? I mean, one day or she, you never know. I mean, channels are building. You could
I
be a
mean,
superstar. Well, you are a superstar. So, you
when
know what I
I'm
mean?
famous and rich, that's a completely different conversation because then we are on the same level. So I don't have to. Oh, Obama and Michelle. I mean, that's a good one. Obama, I think I kind of feel like
Oh,
Obama wouldn't be mean.
no,
You know,
I like
like
Obama.
I kind of have that image in my head about him that he would
Yes.
be, even if just because he was a president, he knows how to
Yeah.
handle people. But
Yeah.
I kind of think
I feel like
he
I'd
would
have to
be
do.
like, bye.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
think it'd be nice.
with me being here and him somewhere over there with all the bodyguards and everything.
I'd probably embarrass myself and do like some sort of curtsy or something daft like that. Or
That would be cool. Maybe the queen, like
oh god,
your
I'd be so
queen.
nervous in front of the Queen. I'd just be like, "What do you do?"
I mean, it must be a really lonely life, especially these days. I don't know, like it's so weird that
Yeah,
you're so old that everybody's pretty much waiting for when you die. It's
I
just,
know, I know, and it's you feel like it's getting nearer because I mean, like I used to work for the council, and they were in talks about planning for when she dies because
yeah,
they have to plan like
yeah, I know. I mean,
civic
that's not
stuff.
a, yeah, it's a thing. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and you think, gosh, is it? She's been going a long time. But we were talking about this the other night because when she goes, it's like, oh my God, it's going to be so. I've always known her being the being a queen of this country. So for her to
Yeah,
go would be so strange. She'd be a
yeah.
loss.
And who's gonna be the successor, William?
Well, I think it would be Charles, but I
I
mean, I
think
think
he
most people want
didn't he
William.
passed it already? Wasn't
I
there a thing?
don't. Maybe
No.
do you know? I should know this, shouldn't I? I live in
Yeah,
the
I mean,
UK.
you live there, so I'm like, I just think maybe I
I
just
know.
heard it somewhere and it wasn't true.
You probably know more than me, actually. But
No.
I think I thought it would be Charles, but maybe you're right because I think it'd be better to pass it to William because William's young and
Yeah, I know. He can be the new
Yeah,
king
yeah,
if they
definitely.
get to keep the title and everything, because there's a lot of people who are like, what's
I
the point?
know. Yeah,
it
That they
costs too
were.
much money and stuff. I mean, I can't have an opinion because I don't live there. So
Yeah. No, you're right.
yeah,
Some people think, is it old hat now? But I think a lot of people in the UK probably are like more royalists and want to keep it. But
yeah,
yeah,
I
you
think
do.
there's a lot of people whose identity includes having kings and queens and everything
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
So
But who knows? Because when the Queen's gone, it's an end of an era, and
oh, for
things
sure.
change, don't they?
It's gonna be interesting to. I mean, I'm not waiting for her that long,
Yeah.
nothing like that. It sounds so horrible, but
Get your
just
tarot
I
cards
mean,
out.
I could die tomorrow and then I never know. But
Yeah. No,
um,
absolutely. I know what
yeah,
you mean.
yeah. But
Because
I mean, I know that Charles and Camilla would be the natural successor, but I swear that
you can't see it,
I
can you?
heard somewhere that, but maybe that was just speculation or somewhere.
I think there has been talk about it,
Yeah,
but whether they will, you see, I can't see Charles giving it up. I think he'll want to be king. I don't
it's
know.
Charles, whether you like it or not. I mean,
Yeah, it's true, Beth. I mean, he's the successor, isn't he? And
yeah.
he'd have to abdicate, I suppose, to
I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess they know what they want. Maybe, I mean, I guess for William, it's better if he's not the king.
yeah.
Christy Lewis, well, I don't think I have met any famous super famous actors. Does Punky Brewster count? And that was like, nope, doesn't count.
Well, I don't know
I
who
mean,
Punky
she
Brewster is,
could
but
be
he
a
sounds fun.
vampire or a robot. There
You
was a
sorry.
doctor. There was a Doctor Who episode, wasn't there? That the Queen was replaced by.
Yes, there was. I'm sure it was Doctor. You're
I
right.
mean,
Was it Doctor
have
Who?
you? Are you? Did you watch the latest one?
I didn't watch that. I love Doctor Who. I'm a huge Doctor. Are you a Doctor Who fan as well? Oh my gosh, I love Doctor Who. I absolutely adore it. But I've lost my way a bit with the new Doctor. I was so happy that it was a woman. I was pleased about that because I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this is great. But I don't know that the first couple of seasons, I've just been a bit like, it's. I really like the old ones though. So, and I'm
I mean,
talking like
I started watching the new ones, and David Tennant was my favorite Doctor. But after this season with Jodie, I kind of think that she's my favorite Doctor
really.
because for the 12th Doctor there was no overall arch. There
Mm,
was just episodes, and the
yes.
story wasn't going anywhere. And I was really, I mean, you could tell that the showrunner was creating the show
Yeah.
because there was
Yeah.
no actual real plan for the show.
Yeah.
But then, came this guy who worked with Jodie previously, so I already knew because I loved
Yeah.
Broadchurch
Yeah.
that they're gonna be amazing. And then they went to so many new places with the story that I
Yeah.
think they opened up the Doctor Who storyline with the latest season. I really
Yeah.
liked. I mean, I was watching the first season with her. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
Johnny and everything. But
Yeah.
this last one,
Yeah.
I think you should watch it because I think this was
Yeah.
very 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 well written and just there's just so many
Yeah.
new shit that they did that I
Oh,
can't
I'm
wait
just watching them because
to
I watched the last two, and I started watching the third season, but I lost track of it on TV, which is why I stopped watching it. But now you've said that, because
You should.
I
I think this was the best one so far
oh
with her.
okay, I'll watch that then because it's just come out actually, I think on DVD as well. And I got so confused though with Matt Smith's era because of the
Oh, I love
overarching
Matt
story.
Smith. He was
Yeah,
so
oh,
fun.
I like him, but I just got so confused with his storylines, and I was like, in
Yeah,
the
and
end,
he
I was like,
quit.
I don't get
Okay,
it.
I think he quit, too soon. There wasn't enough time. And he
No,
talked about it later that he kind of realized that he made a mistake and he should have
he
stayed
did.
more. And I'm like, duh.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was a very good doctor.
Yeah, he
He,
was. He
yeah,
was a brilliant one.
yeah, he was definitely.
Oh, a lot of people met a lot of famous people.
Oh wow.
I'm not a royalist, however, Queen Elizabeth has a bit.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, Beth.
And it
That's
must be
amazing.
hard with all the Andrew scandal and stuff like that. Like when
Oh, I
your child
know.
does something so abhorrent, it's
Well, it's such a shame because all that's going on, and of course Prince Philip died, didn't he? And
I
it's
hate
just
those
oh,
angels. I'm just
oh
sorry.
yeah, don't blink.
I fucking hate that. I mean, nothing scares me, but those freaking they were in this season as well, and I was like, no.
Well, I went to a friend's house who's got like those virtual reality headsets that you can
Oh
put
my
on,
God.
and there was a Doctor Who one,
I
and
never dared to do that. Like, how do you do that? Like, don't
hon
blink and oh,
honestly, Orsha, it was so scary because you're there and
I,
you see it in front of you, and she's like, the angel's there,
oh, it's
and then when
scary.
you turn round, she's closer.
Oh no,
It's like,
no,
oh
no, no,
no,
no, no, no, no.
and
That's
it was
honestly like there's no reason for me to be so scared about those stupid statues, but they are like, oh,
it's
they
horrible.
scare the shit out of me. So yeah,
Yeah, I know it's scary.
yeah. But
But
I
that
will let you go because you said you have another live to do, and
Oh, well, also listen, we've got to do more because
yeah,
we said about that tarot thing, so we'll sort that out
yeah,
definitely,
we're gonna
won't
do
we?
another conversion, and you can come back to this one. We can talk
I'd
about
love
it.
to. Absolutely love that. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of
Because
course, and like that, I could talk for at least another hour, so we
oh,
can
me
do that
too.
some other time.
Oh no, that would be great. Thank you so much, Ocean. I've
Okay,
had
and
some
thank you
great fun.
everyone who was here. Like, I hope you got to know us and Ben especially a bit
Oh,
more as a human being. Please go and subscribe to his channel, like this video because that helps me, and like his videos because that helps him, and leave comments because that also helps him. And
thank you guys.
let's see each other in other lives and stuff like that. So
Definitely. Thank you. That was
awkward,
fab.
awkward. Like what is it, princess way?
Yes, it's like